Well, Saturday's COP28 session centered on Africa and its demands for climate action. Our reporter Yasser Hakim met with Kevin Kariuki, the African Development Bank Vice President for Power, Energy, Climate and Green Growth. He discussed the bank's targets for this year's UN Climate Summit.
We had 4 key objectives. Number 1 was to advocate for increased climate finance. Number 2 was on the issue of energy access. And then number 3, we also had the issue of greening of Africa's infrastructure. Number 4 was on scaling of adaptation in Africa. What we were hoping to do is to be able to, for example, find ways of having more partners to support, to complement us in the energy access journey by sort of having partners, for example, with our Desert to Power project, which is a big initiative that seeks to generate up to 10,000 megawatts of solar potential using sort of to supply electricity supply to 250 million people in the Sahel region.
How is the bank working with the private sector to facilitate finance?
When it comes to the issue of greening of infrastructure, it's an area that we are at the forefront. Here at COP, we have actually fundraised about $175 million for project preparation and project development of infrastructure projects. And the idea here is to ensure that we have a bankable pipeline of renewable energy projects that are able to attract financing. To date, Africa only accounts for about 2% of total renewable energy investments globally, which is little. I would welcome the contribution of about $4 billion from the UAE and also the $30 billion Altera Fund.
What would be an ideal COP28 result for Africa?
First of all, I must say the first thing that happened was the early adoption of the Loss and Damage Fund. I think that was a very important step because this will help Africa in adapting to climate change. We know for a fact that there is still about 380 gigatons of CO2 emissions that are compatible with the goal for the 1.5 degree goal for Paris Agreement. And therefore, in my view, the remaining, what I would call carbon budget, needs to be shared equitably. I would want a situation whereby greater resources provided for adaptation. That would be big.